Good evening, everyone. I got a little different time on my watches and all that kind of stuff, so I wasn't sure what time it is. But it's Matthew here. Why don't we just get started? I mean, we've got people that are still hopping on, so welcome everyone to the call. But on my computer it says it's 9 o'clock. On my phone it says it's 8:59. On my watch it says something different. So we'll just kind of come together in the middle and just say that it's 9 o'clock. How about that? So welcome to the call. Again, this is Matthew Harris calling in from Miami Beach, Florida. It's been a really busy day to day in our life and in our business, and hopefully you've been having a lot of success. Hopefully you're going out there getting after it in your business. And this call is designed to help you really get recharged and maybe give you some insights to help you get your business to the next level. Or maybe you're at a place right now where you just don't know if you can make it, if this is going to work for you, all right? And so we're going to talk about that. And absolutely, be in a place where you can take some copious notes, write down everything that you possibly can. It's a proven fact, and I say this wherever, even when I'm working with my team or on a webinar or any time I speak, that it's a proven fact that you're able to retain more information when you actually physically write something down. And when you're sitting on a conference call like this, or you're attending a company event, or you're listening to a webinar, you're listening to someone who's teaching you from their experience and is teaching you something that you really want to learn, I would not, and I used to do this, but I would not just think that because I heard something that it really resonated with me, that I'm really going to be able to grab that nugget and really be able to capitalize on it just because I heard it. You've got to be actively engaged. So definitely know that a short pencil is much better than a long memory. And so be in a place you can take some copious notes. If you don't know my story, I'll run through that really briefly because I want to spend most of the time on the content. Okay, I wanted to make sure that we spend most of the time on the content. But just so you know who I am, if we haven't had a chance to meet in person, I'm a regular person walks on, that grew up in the country of South Africa, came to the United States to pursue the American dream about, 14 years ago, and was told, like most people, that the key to success would be to go to school, get good grades, get a good job. I was not raised with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't get into any of the top schools. I had big dreams, but wasn't sure how I was going to accomplish them. And so I listened to that advice and went to school, worked hard on getting good grades, had 3 jobs all the way through school. When I graduated, had over $40,000 in debt and student loans. And I'm seeing a lot of statistics coming out lately, even over the last handful of years, that's actually common for you to come out of school and have $40,000 plus in debt. I have friends of mine that are $100,000, $200,000 in debt from student loans and are struggling to find a job. And that's where I found myself, where my first year after school, I couldn't find a real job. And finally got an opportunity that was going to pay around $20,000+ a year. So I couldn't even pay my student loans every single month, guys. I'll just be honest. But it was better than nothing. So I took the job thinking, okay, here's my chance at the American dream. Finally, if I just work really hard, work my way up the corporate ladder, things are going to be okay. That was what I hoped would be anyway. And things started to really turn upside down for me after that. A couple months into this job, it turned out that the company was no longer solvent. They actually folded as a business. And I showed up to work one day, and they were like, we can no longer afford to pay you. So I was like, I can no longer afford to show up, right? I don't know if you're like me, but if someone's not paying me for work I'm doing, I'm not going to show up. So I didn't have another plan, didn't have a backup plan. That was my plan. And now I found myself living with my uncle in his spare bedroom. No card, no, credit cards were not even something I could really do a whole lot with. Didn't have any savings. Was really frustrated. And you know what? I've had many frustrating times in my entire life, even since then, even since becoming an entrepreneur, even since building international businesses and having the success we've had. I've had plenty of frustrating times. Even this week, I've had a lot of frustration. But what I've learned is that if you're frustrated at any point in time, if you're frustrated right now, that really is just an indication that you're on the path, that something great is around the corner if you're willing to take action and maybe approach that problem from a different angle. See, for me, my frustration came down to I had no money and I had all the time in the world. When I had a job, I was frustrated because I had no money and no time. So I figured if I could just find a situation where I could have a whole lot of money, a whole lot of income, as well as a whole lot of time to enjoy it, in my mind, that would be the ultimate luxury. That was what I was looking for, and that's what drew me to network marketing and this journey we've been on now for a handful of years. And so I wish I could say that I was an overnight success or Actually, it probably wouldn't make any difference if I did say that, because maybe you're looking at this and you've been in your business now for a while, and you're not an overnight success. So we can relate in that from that perspective. My first year in the business, and when I first really started going after network marketing, my first 20 presentations, every single one of the people I talked to said no. I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you. First person you call, this person's, they're going to sign up. They're going to see the vision. They need this product. If it's a weight loss product, if it's a service or whatever, right? You just know that the people you're going to call, they're going to love what you have to offer. And then maybe you're hit with a little bit of resistance like I was. I got a lot of resistance. 20 presentations, 20 zeros. My first real run of network marketing, and I was so close to quitting. I went back to my uncle's spare bedroom, and I looked around and I looked at those four walls, and I said, man, I just made a decision that I was going to do something different. I was going to go for more. I was going to try something different that my family had never really been successful at. All my family is into school, get degrees after degree after degree after degree, but none of them are financially independent. So I decided to try and do something different, and here I am struggling. And so I was so close to quitting. And if you're listening to this right now, and maybe you talked to someone today who didn't like what you had to share with them, and they told you should quit your business, or maybe you had some people in your team quit, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make some money, or how you're going to get your business to go to where you want to go, or whatever it may be. Listen, the winds of life blow on all of us. It's the set of the sail that determines our destination. And so you have a choice, just like I had a choice back then about what you're going to do. For me, I decided, listen, if I quit right now, what would happen? Well, I realized that I would have lost the money that I invested in the business. I would have a bunch of product lying around. I wasn't going to send it back. I was going to just use it up, right? I knew that. I wasn't one of those people. But I thought about this for a second. If I quit, what else am I going to do? What else is there out there that's going to allow me to move out of my uncle's spare bedroom, going to allow me to get a car, going to allow me to actually replace the income and maybe even start to get on my feet and even maybe get closer to the American dream? What other option is there for a guy like me with nothing? And I thought for a second, and I realized that I couldn't quit. And some of you listening to this right now, that's the message that you need to hear more than anything. Yes, we're going to talk about how to make a six-figure income. Yes, my wife and I were able to go on and do that in our businesses and go on and do that in other businesses as well. Point is that all of us are going to come to a place in our life where we have to decide if we're going to stay in the game or if we're going to quit. And I'll tell you that you'll never get to the results that you want if you're throwing the towel before you could be 3 feet from goal and not even know that you're that close to your breakthrough if you actually give up. No matter how hard it gets, my friends, I'm going to challenge you right now to make a resolute decision that your whole team can quit, your upline can quit, the company you're working with can quit, but you are not going to give up on your goal for financial independence, for security in your life, and for really doing something great with the opportunity that we have inside of network marketing. Now, if you can make that decision now and continue to make that decision every single time you talk to someone who says no, someone who doesn't do what they say they're going to do once they've signed up, or whatever frustration you find yourself doing in the business, if you say, listen, I'm going to do this, you have done so much more just in making that decision. You have stepped so much further forward on your journey to success than most people ever will. Because here's how most people approach this business. They think that it's a lottery ticket. They think that all you have to do is just put a couple $100s in, you sign up for some system or work with some guru or whatever the case may be, talk to a couple of friends, and you're going to be able to make a significant income. Now, yes, you can make a couple $100 probably just doing that. I don't know any other business where that's even possible. You know, if you look at traditional business, you got to spend hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars before you ever make a penny. Yet you can come into network marketing with no skills, no contacts, not even having the products on hand. You sign up and you can introduce some people to the product and to the company, and you can make an income. And no, listen, to make great income, the 6- and 7-figure income, you don't get lucky. You have to be really, 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 really good at this business. So let's get out of the mentality that it's just going to happen just for you, just because you've gotten the right opportunity or whatever. Listen, you have to build your skills. You absolutely need to. But if you come into this business with this mentality of, oh, you know, it just cost me the same as my iPhone, or it just cost me the same as maybe a pair of shoes that you own. That's one of the biggest challenges with this business for anyone who wants to do something significant, is it's so easy to get started. And so there's a lot of us that just get in this mentality of we get excited about starting something, but we never see it through all the way to the end. This is going to be a little bit stronger of a call than maybe you're used to, because we're talking about building a six-figure income. And so if, with your permission, I'm going to be very, very blunt about what it's going to look like and what it could take for you to be able to get there. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that as a result of this call you're going to make a six-figure income, because this conversation that we're having right now, even though I'm doing most of the talking, all the talking really, is a conversation where you're going to take this information and you have to implement it in your business. If you take 2% of the information, then don't expect 100% of the results. If you do 50% of what I'm talking about, don't expect 100% of the results. You're going to have to do 100% of what I talk about and more for you to really give yourself an opportunity to really, really live the lifestyle of your dreams. But then I'm going to ask you the same question I had to ask myself years ago when I had those first 20 presentations all say no, and I was really, really close to quitting and throwing in the towel. What better option do you have? What better option do you have? And I'll share with you this. If you right now are looking at other opportunities, or if you're looking at other different businesses, or if you're watching other people in something other than what you're currently involved in, you are not going to get to the six figures. You are not going to build a massive business, because right now you're paying more attention to other people's agendas, to other people's opportunities, than what you actually have in front of you. This is something that I have to tell myself all the time. If I have a bad day, trust me, it's pretty tough for me to stay focused, because at this point especially, I have a lot of friends and a lot of different things that are always trying to recruit me, always trying to get me to take a look at this opportunity. I've gotten to the point now where I know I can make money in almost anything, where now I'm looking at, oh, well, if I had a bad day or things didn't go well, I could do this, right? And that is a terrible mindset to have when you're going to go out there and build a significant income. Imagine being married to someone and having that kind of mindset. What kind of relationship would you have where you're not all the way committed, where you're like, oh, well, if this doesn't work out, I can always go hang out with this person, or I could always get in that relationship. I already have all these options. Getting married for me literally meant cutting off all the other little options that I thought I had in my life in terms of other relationships. There are friendships that I have, or quote-unquote friendships that I had, that are not there anymore, because I made a decision to spend the rest of my life with this beautiful woman who a lot of you maybe have a chance to see online, or maybe had a chance to meet. Her name is Eileen. She's my business partner, my wife, my best friend. My entire life has been centered around her, and that's the decision. I'm using that as an example. Obviously, your relationships, first it's faith, family, then business. That's the way you need to put in your priorities. But I'm using this as a parallel to show you the kind of commitment and focus that you have to have on really, really breaking through in your business. Most people don't have that. Most people are just flirting with their goals. They're not fully committed. They're not married to them. They're just flirting with them. Oh, they see this cute guy at the bar. They see this cute girl over here at the gym or whatever. And oh, let me go talk to that person. Let me go talk to them. Let me get to see what they're like. Oh, let me see the next thing floating around. So if you're really going to take this journey, if you're really, really going to lock in and change your finances, which I'm pretty sure making a six-figure income from home without having to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars into a business, to be able to do that like you can in network marketing, and I'm sure that would change a lot of you guys' lives, just to be able just that alone. You cannot date around. You can't be focused on other things. You can't be looking at what other people are doing. You have to be 110+% locked in on what it is that you're doing. That's the stone cold hard truth, my friends. That is where it starts. And so what happened for me, I learned that early on. It was something that I realized that I had no other options. I had to cut myself off from everything else. So for me, I was looking failure dead in the face, and it was either I was going to fail miserably or I was going to succeed extravagantly. And I'll tell you this, it has to come to that for you before you can really, really do what it takes to be successful. You have to make sure that sometimes it takes having your back up against the wall. We have no other option. You have to make it happen. And so if you're looking at this part-time, that's one of the challenges of part-time, because you can also find yourself becoming comfortable because you know you have a steady paycheck. But here's what's funny. People think, oh, I got to quit my job so that I can get into this business and really give it all it takes. You don't have to do that at all. Matter of fact, don't do that. I'm one of the few people that will tell you it's much easier to build this business part-time than it is to build it full-time. if you can learn how to focus and keep your mental focus going forward instead of looking at all the stuff around you that's distracting you from what it really takes to build a successful business. So there's going to be a couple things we're going to talk about. I've already kind of laid the foundation about how to make a six-figure income inside of network marketing by, number one, making that decision that you're not going to quit and focusing on what it is that you're involved in. Now, listen, you can say, look, I'm going to hang around my company. I'm not going to quit. I'm here. I'm here for the long haul. All right, I hear that all the time. Oh, don't worry, man. I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for the long haul. Now, I'm going to tell you this as well. That's great. And I'm happy for you that you plan to be there for the long haul. It's the same way like a marriage, going back to marriage. I'm going to be with you for the rest of my life. But it depends what you're going to do while you're committed to that person for the rest of your life that will really show how great of a relationship that is. It can be a relationship for the rest of your life. You can stay in that relationship for the rest of your life and have a terrible experience. I know people like that. You probably do yourself. And it's the same way in the business. You can make the decision, I'm going to be here for the long haul, and then have it be a terrible experience, not achieve the results that it is that you want. It's not just about having that long-term vision. You have to really take immediate action on achieving what it is that you want to accomplish and make it something great, something special. But you have to have the commitment. So we talked about the commitment, all right? Now, here's something I'm going to talk with you about. This is the second key point. We've already talked about the commitment, making that decision, all right? That listen, if you either come with me or get out of the way. I'm going to the top in this thing. The second key that you're going to need on your journey to making a six-figure income in this business is really, really important. Really, really important. I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to imagine, you look at your bank account right now. Look at your bank account right now. Some of you maybe check your account every single day. Some of you don't. It doesn't matter. The question I have for you is, if there was $0 in your bank account and you still had the exact bills due that you have right now, and you have no other source of income coming in right now. Take away your network marketing business, take away your job, take away everything. You have $0 in your bank account right now, right? Zero. And you have now until the end of the month, and you have all the bills that you have due, your regular bills. You know what those bills are. Let me ask you, what just happened to your stress level? Right? Probably went through the roof just thinking about it automatically. And again, taking away the fact if you have any income, take that away. You have zero income, zero money in the bank. Now, you hear all these great stories about people that transformed their lives, that went from $0 to, $30,000 a month or $1 million earners and all this kind of stuff. We hear all these stories about people that in our industry created these big results, and they started with nothing, quote unquote. I'll tell you guys this. I'll share this from my own story. I got flown out to see a company. I was rising inside of this industry. The first company I got involved with, they went out of business. The month before they went out of business, I had just gone, my whole team, a couple of us had gone all in on the business, and we had become the top producing team in the company that month. We were all expecting to get these big bonuses the following month because we were the number one recruiters in the company. And so we had just started to figure some things out. I was just starting to get some momentum for the first time ever in my network marketing career, early on. And then I get a phone call the next month from my upline telling me that the business had gone under, that they're not going to pay our checks. We're stuck. We need to look for another opportunity or whatever. I was 8 months from my wedding. We had already started to send out wedding invitations, guys. I mean, we were stressed. Eileen and I were absolutely stressed out. No money. I had $20 cash on me. That was it. $20 cash on me. And now I'm really starting to freak out about money. So now the income that I expected had gone away. All right, there's nothing in the account. There's $20 extra that I had on cash on me. That's it. And we went out there and found an opportunity, and within a couple of months found ourselves earning a 5-figure monthly income. But here's the thing. Forget the 5-figure monthly income. The real lesson is how I felt when I had zero income. See, this is what's interesting, is that if you were to see me 4 or 5 years ago, even when I had a job, or whatever the case may be, if you asked me how did I feel about money, what was my feeling about it, I might have told you I was feeling good. But the second that I didn't have a paycheck, my whole world went upside down. My whole world fell apart. And I think that's true for most of us. We're so addicted to having a steady paycheck as we come out of the workforce or out of this world this cocoon, if you will, of being employees, that when you get into the world of being an entrepreneur, you do not have a guaranteed paycheck. You don't, except you know that if in your compensation plan, if you create XYZ results, you're going to get XYZ paycheck, right? We all get that part. But the way we feel about money is going to have a massive impact on the way that we actually approach our business. This is why I tell people, don't quit your job to do network marketing. This is a part-time deal. Build it fast, build it big on a part-time basis, and then once you've actually equaled the income that you're making for several months on a residual standpoint, then let's see, start having a conversation about quitting. But you know what? Most people never even get to that standpoint, because when you start talking about money, when you start talking about what it costs to join a business, here's what I want you to think about. Here's what I want you to think about. How do you feel about money? If I said to you, this business to get started and to build over the next 12 months, you make a six-figure income in this business, you have $0 in your account right now, but you go find $4.99 or $5.99 or $1,000 or whatever it is, right? You still have all the expenses that you normally have. You have $0 in your account, and you need to find a way to make an income. And let's say it's $1,000 to join the business. Well, if I come to you and I've got this business and I come to you and I say, join me, you can make six figures in the next 12 months. Get rid of all your financial pain, all this stuff. You've got $0 in the account. Go find $1,000. Now, let me ask you something. There's several of you right now that would say, I would take it. I would do it. But most of you are probably saying, I wouldn't. It's risky because I don't have any other income. I can't take the money that I have right or that I could find and put that into this business. I need to go off and I need to go find a job, or I need to find some family to take care of me, or something like that. Your feeling about not having any money is driving your decision. Here's what I want to tell you. If you really want to create a six-figure income and really transform your finances, you have to be okay with not having any money. $1,000 to go off and create a six-figure income has to be a no-brainer for you. When I tell the story about me having $20 and 3 months later earning over $13,000 a month because I started a business, most people are like, oh, how did you do that? The way I did it was by finding the money to get started and focusing on the goal of not letting my fear of not having any money or being so stressed out about it hold me back from making a decision that it would take for me to become successful. What does that mean? Why does that even matter in your business? See, here's the thing. You're going to be leading people from all different walks of life that are in different experiences, different financial situations. And if you are still holding on to that umbilical cord of a paycheck, or you look at that business that you have and doesn't have the value that it needs to have of being a six-figure valued business or $1 million business, when you talk to someone and they have negative feelings about money too, they're looking at the cost of something, not the value. Yet most of us, if you look on Facebook right now, or if you know of any of your friends, we probably all know somebody who's broke, who's always asking for money, who's always running around trying to figure out how they can get the newest Jordans or the new iPhone, everything like that. So this is a consumer. This is someone who sees money as a tool to help them get something that they like or that they enjoy. But when you come to them with an opportunity, they'll pull their pockets out and they'll say, oh, I don't have any money. I don't have any money, because they haven't seen the value in it. If you are going to be a six-figure earner, you have to be okay. You have to be okay with looking at your business, even if you don't see the teams of thousands of people that you're going to build and lead yet. Even if you don't see where you're going to get the 5-figure a month income yet. Even if you're looking at your bills right now and saying, I don't know how I'm going to pay them, but I'm going to be involved in this business right now. Even if you don't see the complete impact of that business just yet, you cannot hold on to the paycheck. Now you're looking at me like, Matthew, you're crazy. If you're telling me not to leave my job, but you're also telling me not to be so stuck on the money. The reason I'm telling you that is this, is that I've come to find now, as being a full-time entrepreneur, guys, I have not had a job since 2008. And God has been really, really good to us. And now I'm not going to tell you that it's been easy, but you're going to go through ups and downs too. Just because you make a six-figure income, this may not change everything for you along the way. You're going to have to go through some ups and downs to get there. And if you're constantly fearful about losing everything because you don't have any money, you will not enjoy the process, number one. Number two, you will not be as dynamic when it comes to communicating with other people about the opportunity. If you become a slave to money, that's the real heart of the issue. If you become a slave to money instead of enslaving money to work for you, it will always ruin your life, and you will struggle to attract money to you. I'm going to say that again. If you are always enslaved to money, you will never enslave money to work for you, and you'll be enslaved for the rest of your life. It is a cruel master to have money enslave you, but it's a wonderful servant when it works for you. So let's go back to our scenario. Let's go back to that scenario of you're looking at your bank account, you got $0, you have the opportunity to go off there and make a six-figure income. What do? Do you invest in that business? Do you go all in? Or do you go off and try and find another job or try and circumvent that? That decision is up to you. It really is. But I hope that you don't get to that kind of situation in order to decide to go all in on your business. Or maybe you're there right now and you need to make the decision to go all in. You will never be able to help other people get over the money objection if you yourself have not gotten over that objection. If you're looking at your business and you see it as $4.99 to join, man, that's expensive. Most people don't have that. I didn't have that. How am I going to help other people find that? You'll never make a six-figure income. You never will. If you go up and look at your business, let's say it's $1,000 to join. It could be even $100. I know some people that will tell me, man, $50 is so expensive to join a business. First off, what that's telling me is they're not an entrepreneur. They're addicted to their paycheck, and they'll never break out of that cycle if they don't change their mindset about the opportunity and about money. Guys, we can talk on and on and on and on and on and on about this, but there's more to this little issue that I want to focus on before we get to the next point, which is a lot of us actually are scared of making money. So we're scared of not having any money, and we look at a business, we think, oh, this isn't going to give us any value, so we kind of ignore the opportunity a lot of times. Then there's the other side where a lot of us have been raised with this concept that the love of money is the root of all evil. Rich people are going to hell. Listen, I grew up with all of that. I grew up in a very, very, very poor area in South Africa during apartheid, if you know any of the history over there. So there was a lot of different ideas when it came to making money. My family did not encourage entrepreneurship the way that some families do. And so it's a wonder that we never had any money. And so here's what I'll tell you. If you like a certain type of clothes or a certain type of fashion, chances are you're going to wear a certain type of clothes, certain type of fashion. If you like a certain type of car, chances are you're going to drive a certain type of car. We have in our life what we like, no matter if it takes you a year to get it, 2 years to get it, or 5 years to get it, 10 years to get it. What we enjoy and what we like happens to be what we attract. So if you're looking at money and you're thinking that it's going to lead to all these bad things, then chances are you're going to find that happening in your life as well. You have to get beyond the concept of this. The truth is, the Bible says the love of money. The same thing could be said about anything. The love of your shoes, the love of technology, the love of anything that's going to take you away from what really matters, that can be perverted and lead you down a wrong path. But so many people have been programmed to think that money itself is the only evil out there, that it needs to be avoided by all means necessary. Oh, no, you're talking about all those money things. That's bad, that's bad, that's bad. And if you've heard that through your lifetime, if you've been hearing that since the time you were young, and you know what I'm talking about, then you're going to find it very, very hard to make money, especially when you come into network marketing where you have an unlimited income potential, and you may find yourself getting stuck at $200, at $300, at $400, at $5,000. Here's the point. If you don't see yourself as someone earning a whole lot of money or being a six-figure earner and really, really seeing yourself that way, it's going to be very difficult for you to accomplish that. We don't ever perform higher than the level of our own vision of ourselves, our self-identity. If you see yourself a certain way, chances are you're going to behave that certain way. If you see yourself as being that kid in class, I've seen this happen so many times where people are told, oh, you're slow. You got to go with the slow kids, and they separate the kids. And that child really was a genius, except for this certain issue in their class. They processed it differently than everybody else. And so we as adults, with our incredible vision and thought processes, we decide, oh, we're going to label this child as slow. And now that actually sets them down a path that they should never have been on. The same thing is true as adults. And so we're looking at creating a six-figure income, but if we walk into it with a $10 an hour mentality, you're never going to create that six-figure income. So focus now that you've made the decision, that you're not going to quit. We also talked about money and the issue that it can have and not being so caught on having that paycheck. Remember, profits are better than wages, and you have to really, really, really believe that if you're going to convince other folks to follow you on this endeavor, on this amazing adventure of being an entrepreneur, of using the network marketing distribution model to create wealth and to just get those products out around the world. But also think deeply about how is it that you feel about money. That's a topic for a whole other time. We can go very deep into that. But you have to look at your issues now with money, or the issue of how you see yourself, and be ready to transcend that on your journey to the six-figure title and six-figure income in your business. Now you're listening to this, you're saying, man, you barely told us how to do it. You haven't give me the meat and potatoes. Give me the details. How do I talk to somebody? How do I do this? How do I do this? Guys, that stuff is so easy. Literally, if you look at what we do in network marketing, it is the easiest way to make money I have ever seen. It is so simple, because yet so many of us complicate it because of the issues I just talked about, because of the issue of not being fully focused on your business or fully focused on the direction that it is that you want to go, always looking at what's out there. Our brains continue hopping around looking at different things, keep being distracted and never really giving us the opportunity of being laser focused, or not feeling good about money, or not valuing the opportunity that is that we have, and not valuing it enough to see that, listen, if you had $0 in your account, you could go out there and build a six-figure income inside of your business. Now, and really believing that. Those kinds of issues and many more are what a lot of times keep us back from actually doing the work. And the biggest one of them I found is being concerned about what other people think about you and what they have to say about what it is that you do. You know what's crazy is that so many of us give so much energy and so much emotion and so much value to other people's opinions of us. And these people won't even show up to our funeral. But on the day that you die, you know how people will decide whether they're going to come to your burial or not? Is not on how you lived your life or how good of a friend you were, right, like many of us would expect. It's going to be based on what the weather's looking like. So if it rains, these people that through your lifetime are maybe close friends or not close friends, but they'll say, oh, it's raining. They're dead anyway. They're not going to know that I'm going to show up. That I didn't show up to their funeral or whatever the case may be. It's a sad picture, but it's the reality that so many of us live in. But yet we spend our entire lives pandering to people that don't even matter. So when someone calls you up and they say, hey, I heard that you're involved in one of those things, or when you call someone up and they say, yeah, I heard from a friend of mine that you're trying to get them into something, I'm not interested. You sit back and you look at them and you let them judge you on what it is that you're doing, versus saying, instead of holding your ground and holding your head high and saying, what are you talking about? One of those things, what do you mean? But so many of us just crumble at the sight of anyone saying that there's something wrong with what it is that we're doing. I'll tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with you looking to feed your family. There's nothing wrong with you looking to add value to humanity. There's nothing wrong with you chasing your dreams. There is something wrong with people sitting around doing nothing with their life, just watching other people do something and then throwing stones at them for whatever reason. Oh, LeBron James, his hair. He's got a hairline that's kind of receding. Oh, he went and got some new hair in. Oh, let's talk about that. There's never been a single statue raised for a critic. Not a single one. But yet so many of us focus on those critics. We don't look at what it is that we're actually doing. So the next time somebody tries to give you a whole bunch of grief about your network marketing business or whatever, just remember this. They're a critic. They're sitting back scared out of their mind that you hit your goals, that you actually do something epic with your life, and they miss out on it. They're jealous of that because they're too scared to risk going out there and actually kind of putting their neck out like you are. You're risking it a little bit. To shoot for the stars is a little bit of a risk because, yes, you can look silly in front of other people. But if you don't care what other people say, then does it really matter? If you don't care what other people think, does it really matter? Let me ask you this. If you miss your goals in network marketing, if you don't make a six-figure income these next 12 months or going into 2015, if you don't make a six-figure income and you go after it, I mean, you go after it. You don't just talk about it. You do it. You focus on what I'm going to share with you need to be focusing on in a second. You do what the top producers do, which I'll tell you what that is in a moment. And you do that, and you really, really go after it for 12 months. You go after it in such a way that it's something that you've never gone after anything else in your life like this, and you miss your goal. Let's say that you only make $50,000 for the year instead of $100,000. How bad did you do? Really, did you fail? No, not at all. But so if you're looking at this and saying, oh, I have to hit $100,000 to show these folks, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Yeah, the $100,000 may be the goal for you. But even if you slip up and miss, how much further ahead in life are you, not just from the income, but from the person that you've become, because now you separated yourself from the herd. Most people are just going through life waiting for somebody else to tell them when to eat, what to eat, how to dress, right? You walk in through I go to Publix a lot here in Miami Beach. It's a very interesting experience. It's like everybody has Rolex. I don't know what it is about this Publix, but everyone has Rolexes, I swear, and goes to Publix when I'm there. And I love Rolexes, so it's very distracting. But point is, there's magazines all over showing you what the latest celebrity is wearing or how they've lost weight or all this kind of stuff. And here's what I'll share with you. You're concerned about people talking about you. Have you ever looked at the comments that people post on social media about any of these celebrities? It's crazy what people say. They have no filter on what they say about other people. Now, it's also a major lesson for all of us that if you want to do something in life, you want to do something great, then be prepared for people to say negative things about you. Be prepared to have a few haters. Be prepared to have some people not support your dreams, tell you that you're a scam artist, take out do silly stuff. Because look at every single person that we look up to, whether it's the president, whether it's some politician, whether it's some pastor, some minister, whether it's some celebrity, and look at the amount of people that don't like them because they stood for something in their life, whether it's good or bad. They stood for something, and they are known for that. On your way to six figures, you're going to have some people that are not going to like what it is that you're doing, what it is that you stand for. Don't give them any mind. Just let them be a symbol and a reminder that you're on your way. You got a hater? Oh, great. That means I'm doing something with my life. Nobody takes the time to hate on someone who's doing nothing. Nobody does. Well, you see these magazines in Publix. I'm going down a little rabbit hole. See these magazines in Publix, and they're telling you not only what the celebrities are doing, but what they're wearing, what the latest fashion is, and all this kinds of stuff. And so human beings now are programmed to follow what other people are doing, and we follow these footsteps, and we try to figure out, based on what other people doing, how we should live our lives. And so we're scared to really, really go out there and really, really do something. But this is why you need to make $100,000 in the next 12 months, in the next 15 months in your business, because there are people all around you that are looking for somebody to show them that it's possible. To not just talk about it, to not just join another opportunity and then 6 months later be another deal, and then another company, and then another product line, then another thing, and then this. Oh, yeah, I was in that thing years ago. It didn't work out for me. People are used to seeing that. They're used to seeing that. Inside, I believe that everybody's just looking for somebody to show them it's possible by actually doing it. There's probably people in your family that might have tried network marketing or friends of yours that might have tried it. But nowadays people are starting to realize that, yeah, there are a lot of people that actually do make it to the top of the comp plans, that actually do go out there and do the work that it takes to become successful. So we owe it to the people around us, not just because they sometimes say that it's not possible, but because when we take a step forward, it means that the person behind us who's paying attention thinks now, you know what, I can do the same thing. If she did it, and I know her, I know where she came from. I know where she went to school. I know what church she went to. I know what she's been through. And if she could make it, it's possible for me. And whether they join you in your opportunity or not is not what I'm talking about. The fact that they now see a bigger vision for their life and realize that they can do something that they put their mind to, that is something special. And that's the opportunity we really have when it comes down to doing something significant in network marketing. It's not that people are not going to know. People are going to know that you did something. Your company is going to put you on their magazine. They're going to have you walk across stage. You're going to be posted all over social media. Your friends are going to talk about it. Man, did you hear? Such and such, man. They just came. They went on another vacation. Yeah, they got this little side deal going. You know, here's the deal. People are looking for someone to inspire them. Be that inspiration. Set a high standard for yourself. And that brings us to the last point about making a six-figure income. This is what most people miss. Most people end up talking about other people, focusing on politics inside of this business instead of focusing on production. You want to see a team going backwards? You want to see a company going backwards and not having success and not moving forward? It's very simple. What's happening in that company a lot of times isn't maybe they had some challenge, maybe they had some product challenges or whatever. But most times, whatever the little issue was that kind of slowed momentum down, or slowed people's checks down, or slowed the income down, is not as big as what happens as a result. Here's what happens that really takes businesses backwards and holds the growth down. It's people spending more time talking about other people inside the business. And, oh, did you see who left? Oh, did you see who quit? Oh, do you see what they did? And man, this person got promoted, but they got promoted because they're working with this person. They moved a bunch of people and blah, 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 blah. All this kind of stuff that we just spew out there into the world thinking we're talking about other people, focusing on politics instead of production. Those kinds of conversations are going to take your business from where it is now completely through the floor, and that's not a good thing. You want to grow in this business, focus on production. Production pays the bills. Politics doesn't. And so if you're going to sit back around, regardless if your company's growing, if your team is growing or whatever, if there's some issues with some person, you know what you do? You love on that person. You don't spend any kind of time getting into gossip, and you get back to work and do what top producers do. Here's what top producers do. Here's the secret that top producers know that a lot of non-top producers know, they just don't do. Here's what it is. And when you hear it, you're going to be blown away. Here's what we do in this business. We bring customers on board. We bring on new distributors on board. That's it. You don't get paid for listening to a conference call, by the way. You don't get paid for reading a book, for going to a Tony Robbins training, or reading John C. Maxwell, or reading Robert Kiyosaki, or going to Eric Worre's training event, or going to your company's event. So many people get caught up in the personal development trap. It's crazy. And the new podcast we've got coming out, Millionaires in the Making, it's a new podcast series we're putting together where we talk about really the business. And it's something you definitely want to look forward to. It's coming up by the end of this month. We've already recorded the episodes and everything, and more to come. But one of this podcast is about this trap, how to avoid the personal development trap. Most people in network marketing get caught up in this trap at some point in their career, where they think that all it is just about studying the business. That's going to grow the business. Oh, I'm just going to study, I'm just going to study, I'm just going to study, I'm just going to study. That may have got you through college, cramming last second for your final exam, cramming end of the year for your final exam. That may have gotten you your degree. And that may be why you're still struggling in your business right now. That may be why you're not making the money that you really want to make in this business right now, because you've become really, really good at regurgitating information, but you have not done a single thing about actually implementing that information into your business. And I'm not just preaching to you guys listening to this. I'm talking to myself right now, because I've really been having some really tough conversations with myself about this very same issue, where it's one thing to know something. It's a whole nother thing to actually do it. Most of us, if you've been around network marketing for a while, you already know enough about what to do to actually go out there and make a significant income. I didn't say you know enough to become a millionaire, or chances are you might even know enough to become a millionaire, but you haven't done what it takes to be a millionaire. You haven't gone through enough of the no's. You haven't gone through enough of the rejection. You haven't had enough people on your team quit yet. You haven't had enough of your people on your team get promoted yet. You haven't got enough people to events. You haven't done the basics that it takes to really, really build something significant in this business, because you're so focused on learning what you think it takes to pass this magical exam. Here's the truth. There is no final exam in network marketing. There is no, let me cram really, really quick and learn a bunch of stuff in order for me to go up and become successful. Now, yes, you want to grow. Yes, you want to grow. But can I tell you what will really grow your business? Doing two things: bringing on new customers and bringing on new distributors. That's it. Doesn't matter who's leaving your upline, who's leaving your down, who's leaving your crossline. Doesn't matter if your company is going through explosive growth or not. If you're not talking to people every single day, focus on bringing in new customers and new distributors on your team and helping people in your business do that, you're not moving your business forward, no matter how excited you may be feeling. Focus on the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. And now here's your simple goal. Do you want to start making some income in your business? Go off and recruit a new person. How do you do that? All right, well, you make a list of contacts. If you've already talked to some of these people already, write a list of contacts down. Doesn't matter if you talk to them again. Get excited about what it is that you have. We talked at the very beginning, making a decision that you're going to do it with or without the people, that you're going to get to that rank advancement, you're going to move to the top of your company. Doesn't matter what happens, you're going to do it, right? Make that decision first before you even pick up the phone. Once you pick up that phone, guess what? Those people will start to hear there's something different in the way you're communicating with them. There's something musical about the way you're talking that they really resonate with, because they're like, oh, man, such and such is going places. They're going to move. And they're curious now because they're going to think, man, they just might do this. They just might actually become successful in this business. They might actually do it. And they're going to be so intrigued that they don't want to miss out on that, just in case you're right. They don't want to be late to the party just because of the excitement and the energy they hear in your voice. When you get on the phone with people, this is what you say. Listen, I was on the phone with the top executive for the company that's going through a lot of growth right now, and he asked if I knew anyone who's looking to make a significant income this year. And, dude, I thought of you. I don't even know if you'd be open to that idea or not, but let me get you more information. If you like it, cool. If not, no big deal. And, guys, we have plenty more scripts like that that's part of my Language of the Business training, which actually we just made available. If you actually go to wealthwithmatthew.com/language, I think you can get more information there about it. But that gives all the power scripts that I use, and you can master the language of communicating with people. Because when you really focus on making a six-figure income, guess what? Your cell phone battery should be dying all the time. Your Bluetooth headset or whatever you're using to talk to people should be dying. When your team is calling you, trying to talk to you about some problem they're having, oh, the website won't get set up. You're like, I don't have time right now to deal with that. Call customer support because I've got to call a new prospect back really quick. Hey, listen into this call so you can learn how I talk to people so you know how to talk to folks. Because you're so focused on what it really takes to be successful. You're in phase one. Guess what will happen to your team? They'll say, man, now I'm seeing what it looks like to actually build this business. I'm not just hearing about it. I'm actually watching it happen because they're seeing you do it. That's the key to this, guys, is leading by example, bringing on new people into your business. Your team will see that happen. If you have a team now that's not doing anything, you know how you get them to move? If you go get a brand new team. If you don't have a team that right now, you know how you get a team? You go get a team. If you've been in the company for a while and you need to go off and you want to get promoted now, you want to get your income up a little bit more, guess what you do? You go off and bring in new people into the business as customers, and things will start to change. There are very few problems inside of this business that can't get fixed or solved by bringing on 5 to 10 new people front level to you in your business. Very, 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 very critical lesson to learn. So, guys, we've covered a lot of ground in the 45 minutes that we've been together. I'm going to review really quick, and then we're going to close out. Here's what I want you to think about for a second. First off, we talked about making the decision for yourself to go forward, that you're going to make it happen, right? Second, we talked about money, how you feel about money. If you had $0 in your bank account right now that stressed you out, or maybe that's a sign that you're tied to having a paycheck. That's a sign that you need to stop thinking about just the money. I'm going to share with you this final thought as we run through this, by the way. I'm going to say this for the very end, but this just reminded me of something I wanted to talk with you about, specifically about money. I'll run through that in a second. Third thing we talked about, outside of getting really an understanding for the money and not feeling bad about actually making money, because you can do great things with money. Third thing we talked about really was going off there and leading your team by example and bringing in new people, right? That's the key here. Now I'm going to close with this thought, guys. I'm going to close with this thought. I'm going to tell you a story of what happened to Eileen and myself, and it was an experience that is just burned in my memory because of how painful it was, but how powerful it was in shaping every decision we make now. Here's what happened. Eileen and I like to travel. We like to travel. We just love it. Eileen's been to like 30 countries. Right? She's been all around the world. I grew up overseas. We all speak several different languages. We like to travel. And so we had this dream vacation in mind that we were going to take. This wasn't even that long ago. And so I'm still sharing with you guys the lessons I'm learning even now today as I learned them, fresh. Here's what happened. We decided that we were going to go on this vacation. We paid the deposit for it. It was going to be like 2 weeks long. It was like this dream experience that we always wanted to do. We've been watching videos on YouTube. By the way, that's how we kind of dream together. We look at the things that we want. If you don't see a clear picture of your future, of what it is that you want to have happen, you'll never achieve it. You have to see it in vivid color, because our brains work that way. We really focus on things we can see. So we look at things. When we looked at this vacation, we saw exactly where it was. We had it on the calendar, everything. And then as we started getting closer and closer and closer and closer to this vacation, we started to get a little more stressed, because now we had a bunch of expenses that came out of nowhere, and we were trying to figure out, wow, okay, how are we going to really get through this little patch? All right, guys, life happens, right? Even if you make 6 figures, $250,000, you might have someone in your family that passes away. You might have someone in your family get a disease. You might have some children. You're always going to have some issues come up. It's life. So we're dealing with that kind of issue. Fortunately, it was nothing really terrible. It was just a matter of just had to figure some things out. And we said, you know what, maybe now is not the best time to go off there and take this vacation. Maybe we should just cancel, get the money back from our deposit or whatever before it's too late, and we'll just take it some other time. Now, keep in mind, this is our dream vacation. This was a really, really big deal for us, and it was painful even to make that kind of decision. But we thought we were doing the responsible adult thing. So we're doing what adults do, which is making hard decisions like that. All right, so we're not going to do the trip. So we get the deposit back from this expensive vacation. We get the deposit back, and we start literally the next week. I think we made something like $5,000 or $7,000, something like that, for the week. Extra out of nowhere. That's only landed in our bank accounts, and we're looking at each other like, wow, we could have easily done the vacation. My friends, here's the point of this story: is that so many of us, when it comes down to money, we're looking only at what we see in our bank account. You're looking only at what you see in your back office. When it comes to creating a 6-figure income or even doing something bigger than that, you have to be able to see what's not right in front of you. If you look at life like a radar, you know those submarines that have those radar screens, they'll bloop, 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 but they have those little shapes, or even what do you call these places? Airports. They have these radars where planes are flying in, and they can see where these planes, right? They can see the planes that are not even visible to the eye, but they're on the radar screen, all right? So think about life like a radar screen. And if you look at your bank account, you look at your business right now like that radar screen, and you're looking at your radar screen, and you're saying, okay, I have to make a decision. Do I go to this training? Do I invest in this training? Do I talk to this person? How am I going to make this money? How am I going to do this? And you're making your decisions based only by what you see on your radar screen. See, that's what we did. We made our decision based only on what we saw on our radar screen, on the resources that we thought we had, not realizing that there are thousands, millions of other ways of others of the world outside of that radar screen, because that radar can only show you so far. It can't show you every single possibility. It can't show you that the person that's on your list that you're going to call right now might go off and introduce another rock star in your company that week. It can't show you that someone in your business that you thought had given up suddenly goes up there and listens to a conference call like this, gets all inspired, goes take massive action, and the next thing you know, your business is in momentum. It cannot show you everything that's around you that can work in your favor to make your goal really accomplished for you and to make your dreams a reality, because we unfortunately have the habit of only looking at what we cannot see or what we can see, but we're forgetting that there's a world of possibilities that we cannot see. So what I've had to start to do now every single day is challenge myself to stop looking at what's on my bank account, to stop looking at just what's showing up in my back office, to stop looking at just what's on my radar screen and having more faith and belief in what I can't see, that it's going to work out in my favor, that things are going to play out in my life the way that they're supposed to for my benefit. And if you believe that with that kind of intensity and with that kind of depth, it's amazing what can happen. We've seen amazing, amazing things happen when we didn't quit. I gave you a story of what happened when we did quit. I'll give you a story of what happened when we didn't quit. The last couple of days before we had our biggest month ever inside of network marketing, we were having our worst month ever. And I happened to go to the company headquarters. And they showed me that they were like, okay, sit down with us because we want you to teach us here at corporate how your business has grown and all this kinds of stuff. And I'm sitting down with them and I'm talking to them. Meanwhile, I'm stressed because I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to requalify this month for this rank. And there was a huge bonus that came along with requalifying. And I'm sitting down here stressed out of my mind talking to these people, only thinking about what was on my radar screen, only thinking about what I saw. What I saw didn't look good. And maybe your life right now, you look at what you can see, it doesn't look good. And that's scaring you right now. My challenge is to look beyond what you can see. So here's what happened. After I'm in the meeting with executives for the company, I go over and I meet my liaison at this company. I'd never meet her before. When you get back to these ranks in the company, they sometimes give you someone to help manage your business and to get things done faster. So I had one of those, and she was awesome. And I went to see her office where she worked and everything, and she said, oh, I've got something I want to show you. And she had this check request written out to the CEO, from her to the CEO, with this bonus amount written on it that I was going to get if I requalified that month for this particularly high rank in the company. And she showed this to me. And I'm telling you, I got such chills when I saw it because for the first time, I saw my name with that kind of income written next to it. I had this goal all month. Things have gone completely wrong. But until I'm seeing this woman, and I'm sure God knew exactly what he was doing by putting this in front of me, and I saw that it was done. For the first time, I absolutely had zero doubt that goal was going to be accomplished, even though I didn't know how it was going to happen. I started to believe more in what I couldn't see that was not on my radar screen than I did on what I could see. I just said, okay, you know what, it's done. Flew back a couple of days later. We had wrapped up the month, had our biggest month ever in the business, crushed it, completely obliterated our goal. And I sat back, and by the way, when we finished up the month, it was easy. The last couple hours of that month, it just rolled through. The numbers just kept going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And I'm sitting there thinking, why on earth was I so stressed out about this? Guys, some of you needed to hear that. Maybe some of you, that'll be a lesson that you'll remember later on. For some of you right now, that's exactly what you needed to hear, because you know that it's possible to achieve this goal that you want to accomplish, but you're not sure how, and you're focusing so much on the little pieces of the puzzle to help you get to where it is that you want to go. But you're really so focused on what you can see, you're ignoring what's actually possible for you. So think about that tonight as you really go out there and to create some momentum in your business right now, as you get ready to really go out there and rock it. Hopefully that helped you. And I really, really hope I'm giving you as much as I possibly can over a phone. But start by making that decision, guys. Let go of your fear of money. Focus on the main thing, which is bringing on new people and helping your people do the same thing. And have some faith that it's going to play out. I know that goes against everything a lot of people have been taught. All faith is sometimes it's a bad business plan. Yeah, well, when you put faith together with massive action, with what I just talked about, your life will change, my friend. It will. And I'd love to hear from you when it does. So definitely stop by my Facebook page, facebook.com/wealthwithmatthew. If you got anything from this call, definitely message me there or leave a comment. Or if you know someone else that needs to hear this kind of information, tell them to subscribe to my blog, wealthwithmatthew.com. I really do hope that this has helped you grow your business. And as we close out tonight, just know that every single time I can, I'll give you everything I've got. I'm not going to do these calls all the time. I'll do them once or twice a month, kind of just as I feel like it or whatever. But if there's anything you do want me to teach on in specific, just reach out to me. You can always set up a free strategy session with myself. Actually 30 minutes. We spend some time just talking about your business specifically and helping you grow your business. If you're interested in that, head over to wealthwithmatthew.com/strategy, I believe is the link. Or if you just go to wealthwithmatthew.com, you'll see in the menu bar, strategy call. You can click on there and register for that, and it'll get on my calendar. So, guys, hopefully this has been helpful. I see all of you guys stayed all the way through. And even though the call went a lot longer than I planned on, it got a little carried away. Hopefully this has been helpful, my friends. Until we talk again, go out there and rock it in your business. Remember that not everything that's possible is with you right now on your radar screen. It's out there for you, but you've got to go after it. You've got to go make it happen. Have a fantastic evening, my friends. Until we talk again, my challenge to all of us is that we dream first and then find a way. God bless, guys.